Alright, let's talk about precedent. So this is the order in which operators are evaluated. So for our purposes today, we're going to really focus just on the order of operations. So in general, we evaluate from left to right, but we do have levels of precedence, and you pretty much already know this. Think of PEMDAS. So parentheses force things to have a higher precedence. And we have multiplication and division, and then now we're adding modulus. And so going from left to right, we do whichever comes first, and then we have addition and subtraction, which again goes from left to right. So if subtraction comes first, we would do it before addition. Okay, it doesn't really matter how you use your spacing. The only thing that can force an order to happen is the parentheses. So let's look at a couple examples. So here I have multiplication, addition, multiplication, and the remainder operator. And so multiplication and the remainder operator are on the same level of precedence, so I do whichever comes first on the left side, which is multiplication. So 1 times 2 is 2. Alright, so next I have multiplication again, so that is going to come next in what I do. So 3 times 5 is 15. And then next I'm going to do the remainder operator. So remember, with the remainder operator, it's thinking about what's left over, what's remaining, and that's going to be 3. And 2 plus 3 is 5, so I'd get 5 here. In this example, I have the remainder operator and multiplication. Because the remainder operator comes first, I would do that first. So 8 mod 3. I get a remainder of 2, so I'm going to put a 2 here. Alright, next I'm going to do my multiplication. So 2 times 2 is 4. And then now addition comes before subtraction, and then I do my final answer. So in general, this works the same way as it would work in math class, except remember, with integer division, you can only get an integer when you're dividing. And we also threw in the remainder operator. But in general, it's the same. Now what about if I have doubles? Well, this time we could get decimal answers. And so now we don't have to worry about dropping the decimal portion. So for example here, I have multiplication, addition, multiplication, and division. So this will be done first. 2.0 times 2.4 is going to be 4.8. That's a little sloppy. Alright, let me see what's going on here. Alright, let's see. Okay, so this is a 2.25 times a 4.0. That happens next, because multiplication came before division. So I would have to do that. So 2.25 times 4.0 is going to be a 9.0. And then now I'm going to do this division, and I'm going to get 4.5. And then when I add these together, I get a 9.3. So same order of operations that you would do in math class, calculated the same way. Alright, now what if we mix ints and doubles? Well, if you have an int and a double mixed together, you get a double. However, it does not extend to the entire problem. It's per operator, which basically means if you look at this example, according to order of operations, I would do this division first. Neither of these numbers is a double, which means I do integer division. So in other words, 7 divided by 3 is 2. It's not 2.0. Just because I have a decimal here, it doesn't make this 2.0. In this immediate operation, I do integer division. Alright, next I'm going to do 2 times 1.2. And then next I'm going to do my division, and because these are both integers, I'm only doing integer division, which means I get an integer result. 3 divided by 2 is 1, not 1.5. But here I have a mixed double with an int, so here I can get my double as an answer. So again, it's very much dependent on what's happening in that immediate pairing. So according to order of operations, I would do this division first, 10 and 3 are both integers, which means I get an integer for that result. And then I can carry the other stuff down. Alright, when I do 3 times 2.5, I'm mixing an integer with a double, which means I can get a double right here. And then when I look at 6 divided by 4, those are integers, which means I can only put down the integer portion of the answer. And then 2.0 plus 7.5 is 9.5. And then we get 8.5 when we subtract. So it's very important you're paying attention to, in that immediate operation, if they're only integers, you can only get an integer answer for that step. But if you're mixing integers and doubles, or have two doubles, it's okay to get a double.